If you were extremely wealthy and could live however you choose, would you rather have a palatial mansion near a big city or a modest house in the middle of nowhere? Hi everyone, Ken here. Today we're exploring the many mansions of William Matheson, a man who chose both. Hit that subscribe button and let's explore this house. In 1856, William Matheson was born into a humble family in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. His father had emigrated to the New World from Scotland to join with his brother in establishing a dry goods store, and even though the family enjoyed a comfortable, middle-class lifestyle surrounded by their friends and family, William's father wanted more. He uprooted the family to British Guiana, where he managed a sugar plantation, exposing young William to the tropics for the first time, something which he would yearn to return to in his later years. In the meantime, his father saw his net worth increase and decided to send William, along with his brother Hugh, back to Scotland for their education. During their voyage, however, their ship, the Stroe, encountered a hurricane and capsized. The brothers narrowly escaped the fatal shipwreck and were able to start their education abroad. While in school, William became enamored by chemistry, choosing to spend his free time tinkering with synthetic dyes. After finishing his schooling, he moved to New York City, where he soon became the American agent for the German chemical giant Leopold Casella & Company. He only needed a short introduction to business to figure out that he could be his own boss in this new, emerging industry, leading him to establish William J. Matheson & Company, importing and distributing Casella products across the English-speaking world. He found success decade after decade, eventually founding the National Aniline and Chemical Company, which later merged to become part of Allied Chemical and Dye Corporation. While he was building his legacy, he acquired great wealth, and with his newfound fortune, he set out to build his dream homes. In 1900, William purchased the former estate of Anne Coleman Alton on Long Island. At that time, the house was a rambling Queen Anne, which he hired Boring and Tilton to reimagine as something more baronial. The result was a fortress-like house with towers, parapet walls, and ramparts. The red brick and limestone mansion took on a life of its own, barely recognizable as the former Alton estate. The architects greatly expanded it to include 37 rooms and an entire wing devoted mostly to a ballroom. But it wasn't only the house that was impressive. The 300-acre grounds gave him access to 1,800 feet of coastline in Lloyd Harbor overlooking Long Island Sound. Despite the house's massive size, it was important to William that it felt livable. To see how this played out, let's enter his home as he would have, from the loggia instead of from the main entrance. This winds around to the solarium, overgrown in ivy and offering greenery year-round, even in Long Island's chilly winters. From here we'll continue into the living room, descending a few steps. This cozy space was decorated with comfortable furniture, and the walls were clad in oversized wainscoting, wrapping the room in a decidedly arts and crafts ambiance. Beyond the pocket doors, the library is overflowing with books, absent of any decor which might be deemed pretentious. Instead, he chose to use the library as a gathering space for his family, with plenty of seats for each child. Of course, the entire house wasn't so relaxed. The formal living room, also referred to as the drawing room, boasted a coffered ceiling and a floor-to-ceiling Gothic fireplace. Unlike the living room, the drawing room was meant to be a showroom, ready to entertain at a moment's notice. The same could be said for the dining room, which only would have been used for formal dinners with guests. Interestingly, this fancy lifestyle never seemed to suit William, so when he began yachting and building vacation homes, he did so with restraint, choosing comfort and simplicity over grandeur. He headed down to Florida, where he built several vacation houses stretching from Miami and down through the Keys. While his neighbors in Coconut Grove had palatial mansions, he chose to build a humble house known as Four-Way Lodge. Though as he built friendships with the yachting community, he found that he needed a house large enough to entertain from. He purchased 1,700 acres in Key Biscayne and transformed the swamp into a lagoon to nearly completely surround his house, which he named Mazda. The Moorish mansion was warm and inviting, with a series of small, tight rooms and large expansive rooms to hold 100 guests. The house was intended to be low maintenance and severely plain as his second vacation house in Florida, a vacation home from his vacation home, if you will. The true draw of this location was for it to be a glorified dock where dozens of yachts could gather. He went on to build more houses and purchase large tracts of lands and swamps, all of which became incredibly valuable as the decades rolled on. William passed away in 1930, donating 80 of his most cherished acres near Miami to be used as a park. His children then donated an additional 808 acres to create Crandon Park in the northern part of Key Biscayne. While his Florida homes didn't weather too well, his Long Island estate known as Fort Hill did. Not only does it continue to stand, but it remains a private residence and was recently renovated, preserving the house for future generations. What did you think about William Matheson's mansions? Did you have a favorite? Let me know down below in the comments section, and while you're there, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.